If you make videos, you know this exact pain. In the old legacy workflow, you generate a clip on some web platform, wait to download a massive file, import it, realize the pacing is completely off, and do the whole maddening cycle all over again. But the new Palmier loop eliminates that entirely. You generate and you edit directly in place. No tabs, no downloads.
So let's look at the actual bottleneck creators are dealing with today.
If your desktop is just a graveyard of folders stuffed with Final V3 or Final V4 MP4 files, you know exactly what I mean. When you disconnect the generation process from the editing timeline, you literally break your creative loop. Because once that clip becomes an MP4, your original text prompts, the models you used, and your reference images, they are just completely lost to the editor. You stop being a director and basically turn into a file courier, just dragging assets between disconnected apps. The Palmier treats AI generation as a timeline primitive. This means your prompts and settings stay glued directly to the track block. If a shot looks weird 3 days later, you aren't digging through old folders. You just tweak and regenerate it right there on the timeline. Plus, you can seamlessly mix these AI outputs with your actual camera footage. And you're not boxed into one ecosystem either. You could use CDance 2.5 for highly dynamic, realistic motion, and then switch to Kling V3 for a photorealistic cinematic shot right next to it. Need a clean title still? Drop in Nano Banana Pro. You choose the absolute best model for every single block, all inside the exact same sequence. The real insight here is getting rid of that folder mess. Keeping your creative intent, the prompt, the model, the reference, literally inside the timeline seems like a minor UI tweak, but it completely transforms how fast and how well you can edit. It allows for rapid trial and error without all the administrative headache. But fixing that generation loop is only half the story. Let's talk about letting AI agents actually manipulate the project alongside you. This whole thing runs on MCP, or the Model Context Protocol. Basically, it's a standard interface that lets local AI agents securely connect to, read, and directly control external tools. This is what turns Palmier Pro from just another static graphical interface into a programmable engine driven by agents like Claude. The AI can literally see the structure of your timeline. So, what does this look like in action? An agent hooked up via MCP can take over the mind-numbing grunt work. You can just tell it to take 30 minutes of interview footage and assemble an initial rough cut. Ask it to ripple delete dead air and filler words, and the timeline cleanly snaps together without leaving black flashes. It can generate context-aware B-roll, fix your pacing, and refine prompts, all because it actually understands the context of your entire project. Now, you might think you need an engineering degree to set this up, but let's look at how it actually works. It's surprisingly simple. Just launching Palmier Pro automatically starts a local MCP server in the background. From there, you just run one single connection command for your agent, whether that's Claude, Cursor, or Codex, and you start talking to it in natural language. They took a highly complex developer concept and turned it into a seamless one-click setup. There's a pretty clear dividing line right now. Runway is fantastic for generation, but it lives in a web browser. Premiere Pro and CapCut are incredibly powerful editors, but they treat AI like an add-on feature. Palmier Pro is entirely unique because it was built from day one as a Mac-native editor where AI agent control and timeline generation exist as first-class citizens.
All right, let's talk real numbers and hardware restrictions, because there are absolutely some catches you need to know about.
First off, let's start with the best number in software: $0. The core open source editor and the local MCP server are completely free. If you just want to edit your own camera footage and have Claude scrub your timeline to assemble rough cuts, it won't cost you a single cent. You only pull out your wallet when you actively invoke those cloud-hosted AI generation models. The pricing scales up logically from free to a pro tier and a max tier. Essentially, you're just covering the cost of that heavy cloud computing processing. But here are the real limitations to keep in mind. Palmier Pro strictly requires macOS 26 Tahoe, and it only runs on Apple Silicon, so M1 through M4 chips. It leans heavily on Apple's specific machine learning frameworks, meaning Windows and older Mac users are totally out of luck for now. Also, it's a brand new project, so it currently lacks advanced VFX, masking, and heavy color grading tools. It's a bit bare bones on that front today. So, bringing this all together, how should professional creators actually integrate this tool right now? The smart play today is a hybrid workflow. Let your AI agent handle the tedious scrubbing and build that initial rough cut.
Then, you step in as the human editor to refine those generations and dial in the creative tone. When you're done, export an XML straight into Premiere or DaVinci Resolve for your final cinematic color grade. Basically, treat Palmier as your ultimate ingestion and assembly engine before handing it off.
I want to leave you with this final thought. This isn't just another video editor. It fundamentally reshapes how we interact with creative software. It really makes you ask, what does software actually look like when an AI agent isn't just a shiny gimmick tucked in the sidebar, but a first-class operator driving the program? If this is the new baseline for creative work, what other daily tools are about to be completely rewritten from scratch?